Hello everyone, welcome to Jacqs. Thank you for joining me today. I am going to be working on my July design team project for Calico Collage, and I thought I would show you some elements as I go throughout creating the journal. So the first thing we're doing today is using a hanging file folder as a cover. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but I thought I would walk through it with you today. So let's get started. I'm going to be using my Fiskars Precision Rotary Cutter here, and I'm taking the hanging file folder. I love this deep green. I think it will go great with the Grandma's Garden digital kit that I'm going to be using, and I'm going to open it up because it will be too thick to put both ends through at the same time. And you know what? I think I'm going to turn this around. It's quite noisy, I'm sorry. I'm going to go right at the end of where the fold over is. And then it will make a clean cut. And we'll just throw this part away. And we'll flip this around and do the same thing. So now we have our hanging file all ready to cut down to the size of our journal. Now I have already cut down some of the pages that I'm going to be using in the journal, and I want to cut this down to fit that size, but I also want to leave enough room to make a pocket on the front and back side. So I do know that the length of the journal will be 8 1/4, so we can go ahead and cut that. And it actually cuts off a really nice piece. You can take this and fold it and create a small half-size journal. I've done that before. This is really great material in case you've never used it before. So for our width, what we're going to do, the journal pages come out to about 5 1/4. I want to do it a little bit extra, maybe 5 3/8 will be good for the width, but then we need to add a little bit more to create that pocket. So it'll be about 6 3/8. Okay, so here we are. If we take the measurements, and that leaves a really nice 1-inch kind of border. Okay, so what we're going to do is take this and open it up on our scoreboard, or if you're using a ruler and a bone folder, that works too. At the 1-inch, let's check this out. I'm going to put our paper here. Yes, that will be plenty of room. Okay, so at 1 inch, we'll do a score, maybe twice, because this is really thick. Turn this around and score at 1 inch again. Now we'll take our sides and burnish them in on both sides. And just to test it out, we will take our little journal pages and put it in, and we can see that nothing is hanging out, so that is a perfect size. So that's how we get the cover cut down to the size of our journal. Now for the inside of the cover, I've decided to use this piece from the digital kit, and I'm going to just, glue it onto the back of the hanging folder. But what I want to do is actually cut off this part here that won't be seen from the pocket, and then put that on the top. So I've folded this over, I've made a line on both sides, and now I'm going to cut that off. So the inner part will get glued down to the hanging folder. And these ends will get cut off and placed glued on top of the pocket. Okay? So before you cut them, even though I already have, it is important that you take your full sheet, fold it in half, give a little pinch, and then score it down the center so that when you adhere it to the folder cover, you can get it aligned appropriately, and that when you adhere this to the top of the pocket, it will all still align and almost look like it's one seamless image. Okay, so here's the inside cover once I adhered that page down, and then I cut these parts out to put on the flaps of our pockets. I then added a fabric that I got from AliExpress. I'll have that link down below. I love this, it's really pretty. And so I glued that down with my Fabri-Tac. I'm not going to glue the pockets in yet because I want to work on the cover of the journal, and it'd be easier to do it flat. So for the cover, what I decided to do was use my Coordinations glitter prints. This is Inkjet Printable Glitter. So I printed out the cover page, and so this is what it would look like. I actually cut it in two pieces so that I could have green all the way around. I'm thinking about putting some fabric under there as well, so I haven't really figured that out, but look how glittery this is. It's really nice. I also think I want to do some cutting here so that we could get up, some tags in there. So that's what I'm going to do next. I already have this cut the size that I needed. I did some inking on the sides, and I used Ranger Distress Ink Picked Raspberry. So we're going to use my cutting pad here and my Singer knife blade and give this a go. I apologize if my head gets in the way. I can't really see because of the glare. I can't really see unless I get right under it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I think I'm going to have to do this offline because of the glare. I have to actually be right over it to cut it, so I'll be back. Okay, so I have cut out just a little bit out of the middle, and that's how I'm going to leave that. It was even really hard to do this even with your head over it because of the glitter. You couldn't really tell where you stopped and where you started. So just as an FYI, if you use it. Now, I initially thought about cutting the bird out, and then I had thought about doing something differently, so I actually cut the bird so that it would be on the bottom layer if this is the top. So hopefully that'll work out the way I want it to. So I think I'm just going to give this a little stamping of ink, and that will be done. This will help get rid of the white edges from where it was cut. And I'm also going to do this side as well. Okay, and there we go. Okay, I have the part all cut out and inked, and now I'm going to add it to our cover. Make sure we're in the right direction. And I've added my adhesive on the back using score tape. So when I added adhesive, I added it here and around this side, but not here, so that we could put something in there. Like that. Give this a little burnish, especially around the edges. And the next thing I'm going to do is add lace going across here. But what I need to do first is add the background. Now when I was figuring out what I wanted to do with the cover, I actually started with a 32-pound weight paper, and I was going to just add that and let it look like this. And then I thought, oh, why don't I use some of that fabric? So then I printed that out, and the difference in the vibrancy of the colors was amazing. So this is the fabric. But look at the paper. Look how much prettier and brighter the colors are. So I decided not to do the fabric. Then I thought about the glitter paper, and I ended up using the glitter paper because it just was pretty. But as I was thinking about it, when you have a journal and it's in your hand, you want it to feel good. So while I like the glitter being on the front because it gives texture and interest, and it is smooth, I thought the back should be smoother. So we can either use our paper on the back side or the fabric. That would be this side. The smoother feel is actually the paper, but you get a good grip with it with the fabric. And not that you don't with the paper, but it's just slicker. So I'm going to try and figure out which one I want to use. I think the coloring would be best with the paper. So then I think what I'll do is create a tag out of the fabric, and we'll use that for the insertion on the front side. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do next. This is actually already cut down. All I need to do is just cut it in half and apply it with some adhesive here. And then I can add the lace. And I think that would be it. So I'm going to do all that so not to waste time for you, but I'll come back and show you what it all looks like. Okay, so it's all done now, and I previously showed you the signature cut here, and I created some tags and put those in here. This one's the fabric tag. Added a little lace on top, added some trim here onto this tag. They fit perfectly in there. Added some lace on the spine, and I added these corners, metal corners. I haven't used these in a long time, so I thought that looked pretty good. And here's the back side. I added the 32-pound weight printable here and the fabric over it. So that's how you use a hanging file folder for this session. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.